Good afternoon and welcome back to another edition at the Top 3 at 5. I know I'm late this morning with this content, man, with this top 3, but been putting a lot of videos out here of late on my day off, as well as working on some books, working on some stuff around the house, just making the most out of my day off. But for those of you who are new, I am Hebron ben Bilal. I am the elder teacher of the Remnant of the House of Israel, and this is the top 3 at 5. And what we do with the top 3 at 5 is we go over 3 of the 613 commandments, breaking them down 3 at a time, going through the whole 613 and making them prevalent to today's time, how they can be executed, if they're able to be executed at this time, and making them relevant to today. Once again, a lot of you are new, and I thank you for subscribing. We have a lot of new subscribers, and I thank you for subscribing. This is the Remnant of the House of Israel, where we teach the rudimentary basics in regard to all things Torah. If you haven't already, hit that bell for notification. And for those of you who are new to just seeing this, go to the page, the Remnant of the House of Israel, or the YouTube page, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notification, thumbs up if you like this material. Also, I have another channel, Boomer's Logic, which I just launched 3 videos today, and I generally just talk about social issues on that particular page, just dealing with a lot of things that I see on a daily basis, discussing them from a boomer or a baby boomer's perspective, and giving a baby boomer's logic in regard to it, or perception or opinion in regard to the things that I see on a daily basis. If you haven't already, go over there, subscribe, hit the bells for notifications, and we will welcome you to the numbers. Excuse me, that's my phone. Life goes on as normal, but without further ado, man, let's jump into this. I believe my wife enumerates these, so forgive me if I'm off by 1 or 2. I believe we're at 14 through 17 or 13 through 16, one of the two. For those of you who are keeping count, just let me know down in the comments section where I might be wrong, or my wife will bring me up to speed. Anyway, without further ado, man, let's jump into this. These 3 for the day, and we are going to start with, and these are 3 of my favorite ones. I used to talk about these when I was incarcerated a lot, and go over the importance of these 3. The first one, you shall lend money to the poor. This is a commandment straight out of Torah. You shall lend money to the poor, and where you will find it in Torah is in Leviticus 25 and 35. Leviticus 25 and 35. And if your brother be waxen poor, or if your brother has fallen onto hard times and falls into decay with you, then you shall relieve him, or you shall lend him what he needs. Yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with you. Now, the stranger and the sojourner in this instance is a convert, someone who is not a native-born Israelite, but he has come to the knowledge of Yahweh. He now lives amongst us. He's been given this permission to become a citizen, because he has made that declaration, which would be the Shema, Hear, O Israel, Yahweh is our creator, Yahweh, our creator is one. That is him making that declaration that he believes in Yahweh and he will follow the tenets of Yahweh, and he does so. So he has the ability to live there. So this particular commandment applies not only to the Gentile convert, but for the native born. Now, we're going to remember that a lot of these commandments won't be applicable. Some of them, not all, most of them, but some of them will not be applicable to the Gentile convert, only to the native born. And there's some reasons to it, and when we get to those, we'll discuss them. But this particular one is very good, because we are commanded that when we see our brothers fall on hard times, that we are commanded to relieve him, pull him up, help him, lend him what he needs, give him what he needs. So, and if your brother be waxing poor, if he falls on hard times and falls into decay with you, then you shall relieve him, yea, whether he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with you. Now, that's a very important part, that he may live with you. And when I first read that commandment or came across that commandment, I was like, so he may live with me? What, he got to move into the residence with me? No, meaning that he may live with you, that he will not become a burden upon you, number one. And he might not turn to having you commit criminal activities or beg to continue to survive. So he may live amongst you, meaning that he might continue to be a contributor to the community, a contributor to society. So he may live amongst you. So if he's committing crime, he has to go. If he begins to beg and, do all type of other things, then he really has become a burden upon you. And so that he's not a burden or a liability, you are to relieve him so that he is taken care of, that he is still has that particular, he stays on the same playing field, and he still has the same opportunities financially as you do. And this is a commandment. Now, remember, you're not just supposed to just go around arbitrarily just because a guy is homeless on the corner. Say, for instance, if he chooses to be that way, you will see in Torah where Yahweh makes that proclamation, and Yeshua will make that proclamation, that you will always have the poor amongst you, because you're going to have people who just choose not to do things. And they'll probably be in the minority, and they were in the minority back then. They're in the minority today, but even though you see it a lot more, because of how this particular country is built and set up, there's, people don't really have too much honor, but I digress on that point. But you're going to have this. You're going to have people who, are crippled, are impaired to the point where they don't have any recourse or choice but to do this. But at the same time, you're going to have those who choose to do that, to be poor, impoverished, just don't want to work. So you're going to have those that you don't have to take care of those, but the brothers that you see who are truly able-bodied and are really trying, these are the brothers that you are to relieve. These are the brothers you are to lend money to. Okay, so let's get to the next one. You shall not loan to your impoverished brothers grudgingly. Very important. Listen to it. You shall not loan to your impoverished brothers grudgingly. And I'll read it. Let's go back up, because I forgot to show you where you can find you shall lend money to the poor. And 2 Corinthians is where you'll find it in the New Testament, this commandment being expressed in the New Testament. 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 6 through 7. But this I say, he which soweth sparingly reaps also sparingly, and he which soweth bountifully shall reap also bountifully. Every man according to his purpose in his heart. So let him give. This is that commandment being passed on. Let him give, not grudgingly. Remember, we're going to get back to that because that's the commandment down there. Not grudgingly or of necessity. For Yahweh loveth a cheerful giver. That you shall loan, you shall give to your brother when you see that person is in dire straits. So this is a commandment that's still relevant in the new chapter, that you must loan to your brothers when they are in this particular situation, so that they wouldn't have to turn to crime or begging. So let's go to the next commandment, which you shall not loan to your impoverished brother grudgingly. This is important. That last part is very important. Grudgingly. You shall not loan to your impoverished brothers grudgingly. You shall surely, and that's going to be in Deuteronomy 15 and 7. Deuteronomy 15 and 7 says, you shall surely give him, and let your heart not feel bad when you give him. Do not feel bad for giving. Oh, man, it's my last, man. Man, I don't want to get it this dude, man. No, don't do it grudgingly. Give it to him willfully. Because number one, there's one thing that you have to understand. You didn't get it yourself. This was a blessing from Yah. And all things on this earth belong to Yah. He is the author of it. So you should always be willing to give. When you see the opportunity to take care of one of your brothers when they're in dire straits or when they're in a situation, you should be willing to loan that money to them. So don't give it grudgingly. Give it, but give it out of the goodness of your heart and feel good in giving it to him. That's Deuteronomy 15:7. Now, once again, we see that same commandment in 2 Corinthians chapter 9:7. Once again, another Mosaic commandment in the New Testament. Who would have thunk it? Every man according to his purpose in his heart. So let him give not grudgingly. So that's Paul speaking to the church of Corinth and telling them the same commandment that came out of Torah. But once again, the church folks tell you, no, we don't follow any of those, but you were commanded here to give. And not only do you give, don't give grudgingly. Do not give grudgingly. Third commandment, do not defraud your neighbor. Do not defraud your neighbor. Leviticus 19:13. You shall not defraud your neighbor. Leviticus 19:13. Do not defraud your neighbor. 1 Thessalonians 4:6 is where you will find this particular commandment being communicated, Mosaic commandment being communicated in the New Testament. That no man go beyond and defraud his brother in any matter. Let no man go beyond and defraud his brother in any matter. Let no man go beyond and defraud his brother in any matter. So, once again, we find this commandment in the New, which was in the Old. But let's deal with the defrauding in regard to your neighbors. And this is important because this happens on a daily basis. Defrauding not only goes to, let's just say, for instance, you know that you're supposed to be giving this person back this amount of change, you don't do it. Let's talk about selling a person a lemon, meaning you defrauded him because you understood that person might come and drive the vehicle. And this is something that's really prevalent in this nation. Let's just talk about cars for a second. You go and buy a car from a car lot, you ask them if anything is wrong with it. Oh, no, ain't nothing wrong with it. Just and they know that something is wrong with it. And they still sell you that item. This is clearly a violation. They defrauded you by selling you an item that was not what was, put out there. They defrauded you. White collar crimes would be categorized the best in regard to defraudment because they do it behind the scenes. All of this scamming and scheming and things of that nature that is going on today. Now, a lot of people will read that and say, it just says I can't defraud my neighbor. I can defraud other people. No, you should not practice defraudment. You should always give a disclaimer. You should always give a disclaimer in regard to an item that you're selling, something that you have going on. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a good business practice. And this whole technological savvy generation, you got to remember 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars. You know what I'm saying? People can give reviews on you and things of that nature. So always vote well or advise well for your business, whatever you're doing, whatever you're into. Remember, people can rate you online. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you make yourself available online, you're publicizing or advertising something, people can rate you. So it's always good to live a morally sound life, and especially regarding defraudment. If you're selling something, man, let a person know that, hey, look, it's all good except for this. You know what I'm saying? That's you giving clear disclaimer, letting a person know everything that goes on with whatever you're selling. But man, once again, man, those are the 3 commandments for today. Like I say, I always give these. This is Wednesday's editions. Of course, you're going to have a Shabbat edition or Sabbath edition. And once again, these are given, man, 3 at a time, So you can go back, you can research, and you can apply these things to your life. So you know that you're falling in compliance with the will of Yah. Because a lot of us want to know how to get within the will of Yah, but we really don't know what the commandments are outside of maybe the holy days. So without further ado, let's close this segment out of the top 3 of 5. And I look forward to giving you the top three more of the commandments coming up on the Sabbath. I enjoyed your time today, and once again, and as always, if you haven't already gone to the page, the Remnant of the House of Israel, do so. Subscribe, hit the bell for notifications because we upload this material all the time. For those who just started and those who have subscribed, thank you. Appreciate it, man, and look forward to putting more content out for you regularly. Shalom. Have a good day, man, and I'll see you next time.